Am I the only one that thinks that the Netflix series Adolescence is a shit series? I mean, it's shot perfectly. I like the way that they shot it, but the message, you know, it supposedly portrays what happens in the manosphere or the red pill community. But what they're showing is about as accurate as a vegetarian trying to tell you how to cook a perfect steak. Look, I get it, yeah? It's tempting to reduce a complex movement as the red pill community or the manosphere because it's so big, yeah, and but to reduce it to something very simplistic, yeah, like angry men in basements trying to come up with plans to make all our lives a little bit more difficult, because that sells, right? But the real story is it's far more nuanced and actually interesting if you really care to know about it. But what the show doesn't portrays is the thousands of men finally getting their lives together, broken relationships with fathers being repaired, depressed guys finding purpose again, addicts, drug addicts or alcohol addicts getting clean, weak men, emotionally vulnerable men becoming emotionally in balance or strong, boys, young men finally learning how to date, how to meet women in real life, men achieving financial independence. They don't show that. What they show was a boy, well, doing what he did and then linking it to the red pill community, to the manosphere, and then they name Andrew Tate, you know, as if he's the king of the manosphere. Look, I've been a part of the manosphere since the early 2000s. Yeah, it was probably around 2005-6 when I got my first, when I got onto like the first forums. Back then it wasn't called the red pill community. It wasn't called the manosphere. It was the pickup artist community. And it was guys sharing knowledge about how to get a girl. Yeah, you had the negative guys and you had the positive ones. Yeah, there's always the negatives, the ones who are centered and the ones who lean more left, the ones who lean more right. It's the whole spectrum. You could find them on there back then as well. And it's not different right now. Yeah, it's not different right now. But let me tell you, I'm still part of that community. I'm still very much active inside different groups and seeing what's going on. Look, most people are not talking about Andrew Tate at all. Yeah, no one cares. People care about them, about themselves, about their pains and their problems, and that's what they're talking about. And that's what they are sharing. And sometimes they get an answer with encouragement from other guys. Sometimes they get a bitch slap. Sometimes they get a a kick underneath their balls. And sometimes they get some good action points. Look, you should do this, this or that. You know what the real problem is? The series completely misses the point of why this movement exists in the first place. It fully and very skillfully ignores the legitimate concerns and the challenges that modern men face. Yeah, and identity crisis in a rapidly changing environment, a lack of male role models, the loss. This one is very important. The loss of brotherhood, the loss of community. The search for authenticity in an online fake world. And of course, look, there are the outliers. I'm not denying that. I see them as well. But it's a small percentage. Every movement has its idiots. But if you judge like the whole community, an entire community, by its worst elements, well, you can basically demonize any group. So what does this Netflix series actually prove right now? Well, it proves that we are not ready for an honest conversation about masculinity in the 21st century. That's where we are right now. Yeah, instead we get a pre-packaged narrative that fits perfectly into today's media landscape, but it completely distorts reality. And you know what the irony is? This shallow representation is exactly why more and more men are turning away from mainstream media and finding their own path towards the manosphere. Because when you are constantly portrayed as something toxic, you naturally start looking for places where you are actually understood. And that's what we deliver. Yeah, we as well from Man Academy. So, Netflix, if you ever decide to make a real, honest documentary about the manosphere, here are some suggestions. Talk to the silent majority. Explore the real reasons why men are drawn to this movement. Highlight the successes, not just the small controversies. And maybe, just maybe, try to understand it instead of trying to link it to toxicity. Yeah? But I get it, drama sells. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And to the men listening to this, understand, man, you are on the right path. Trust your gut. Yeah, if your journey is making you stronger, wiser, more balanced, emotionally stronger, if you're growing as a man, then you're doing something right. Yeah, don't let people who do not understand your journey try to kick you off course. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what Netflix, about what the media, or what anyone else thinks of you. It's about you becoming a better version of yourself every single day. And that path, it's always going to be controversial because most people they have no idea what it's like. And real growth is uncomfortable. So most people that are sitting on their lazy ass, not doing anything, they will not understand you anyways. And truth hurts. It often does. And because mainstream is always afraid of men who dare to stand up. Yeah. So keep grinding, brother. The truth is that you will not find the truth in a 4-episode Netflix series when it comes to the red pill community or the manosphere. Yeah. The truth lies in the results that you achieve every single day. And if you are looking for a community space, we have launched a new community, an online community last week. It's not on Facebook. It's not on Reddit. It's our own community. And you can request entrance. Send me a private message with the word community. That's all you have to do. Then I will send you a link. That link, you will have to do whatever it is that you have to do. Press the button. You will get an email. Through that email, you can create a profile, a short profile. Name, email address. We want to know who you are. Because, yes, there are a lot of lunatics. And we want to at least understand who it is that we open the door for. Yeah, we launched it in Holland last week. So now the first Dutch people are entering. But of course, we are also opening the doors for our international brothers. What's going to happen inside? Live trainings, live Q&A calls, networking events. Yeah, we call them bonfire talks. Everybody jumps online and we just talk about things that keep us occupied. We have some very, experienced guys inside that will gladly share their their point of views. So you're more than welcome to attend. Send me that message, private message, community, and I will let you in. Yeah, I will see you there, brother. Much love.